How's it going, guys? It's Doc. We have a huge week ahead of us for Bitcoin and altcoins alike. Plus, we have a new L1 by CZ himself, ASTER, A-S-T-E-R. We're going to talk about that in this video, plus a huge pitfall that we need to avoid Tuesday going into Wednesday night with the government shutdown. Before we get started, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Doc. Throughout the day, I'm a resident physician, and at night in the super early mornings, I take you guys on my crypto and investing journey. Before we get started, I need your help. We are on our road to 10,000 subscribers, and I need your support with a like and a subscribe. It would mean so much more to me than you know. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We are going to talk about ASTER, this new altcoin by CZ himself. But before we do that, I want to take a quick look at Bitcoin and what we have to get past this week. So right now, Bitcoin, looking at the daily chart, Bitcoin sitting at $111,000. Earlier today, we flirted with $112,000, and this is a nice leg up you can see right here from where we were. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on Bitcoin dominance. We're right at about 58% now. I'm going to leave it there. ETH finally getting a nice move back up at 4,100. It hit all the way down to 3,800, had a wick down there. So ETH is slowly starting to recover. I'm going to tell you why, give you my take on that here in just a second. Like I said, if you guys are getting any value out of this, consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and help us get to 10,000 subs. Okay, what's going on this week? Why is Bitcoin recovering on early Monday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning to start the week? Well, the big news is Trump to meet with U.S. congressional leaders in a last-ditch effort to avoid a government shutdown. So what this really means is Trump is going to meet with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer on Monday to talk about potentially funding the government. If we do not fund the government, it will shut down Tuesday at midnight going into Wednesday. Now, shutting down the government, although that may sound scary, is not necessarily going to hurt the market. But now this is important, if the shutdown lasts a significant amount of time, then that could hurt Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean. So the last time that that the government shut down, that was this dip right here. Okay, this dip right here. So December 2018, now this is the weekly view that we're looking at, the weekly view. December 2018, right here, we had this huge jump. The shutdown lasted 35 days, December 2018 into January 2019, right? So this whole area right here, if I remove this drawing, let's just see how big of a pull down that was. That was from peak to trough, a 50% fall. 50% fall in Bitcoin, right? It was roughly 6,300 all the way down to like 3,150. Here's the thing. That is not my base case, guys. Not my base case. The government, the one where we shut down in 2018 to 2019, that was the largest government shutdown in history at 35 days. Now, it is my base case that the government does shut down. I don't think it's going to be for 35 days. Nonetheless, if we do shut down, I tweeted this just on Sunday, any government shutdown dips should be bought quickly, as it will likely be a V-shaped recovery. You could see in that chart that I just brought up, Bitcoin snapped back within a month or two, okay? And Bull Theory, they talk about this, right? The government could shut down. Markets are panicking, except here's the thing. They're actually not panicking. Like if I bring up stocks, I can show you that stock futures right now are actually positive, right? So if we type in SPX and we go to the daily, right? Pre-markets are up, and I actually shared this in my Discord. I'll show that to you guys in just a sec. Well, let's just look at it now. So I said, hey guys, stock futures are back. We're getting closer. Stock futures open green. Guys, by the way, free Discord down below. I literally have nothing to sell you. Nothing to sell you at all. Totally free, building an awesome community out. Okay, what the heck do we have to get through this week? Also, guys, I know you came here for the ASTER info. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. We're going to talk about price predictions, all the things. this is really important. I just want to get through this real quick. This week, huge events, in my opinion, things we need to look out for other than Tuesday, where the government could potentially shut down. On Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, and on Friday, we have the jobs report. I know we say this every week or every month. This is the biggest jobs report ever, but this really is important because it's going to help us to determine not if we're getting a cut in October, because that is almost guaranteed. I'm going to say that again. A 25 basis point cut in October is at least guaranteed. The real question is, will we get a cut in December? So keep this on your radar. Yes, we have JOLTS and consumer data, non-farm payroll, all that stuff. Thursday, Friday are going to be the two big ones with initial jobless claims and the September jobs report. Again, Tuesday into Wednesday, the government could shut down. We're talking about stock futures, how they're green. The market shutting down let me rephrase that. The government shutting down won't necessarily wreck markets unless it is a prolonged shutdown, okay? We can even go to Polymarket. Okay, we check out Polymarket. There's a 69% chance that the government shuts down. This is down from like 80 something. Yeah, it was over 80% just yesterday, right? So the reason that this is falling is because there's reports that Trump is going to meet with Schumer and all of those guys. We already talked about the Discord. Like I said, nothing to sell you. Awesome Discord. Ton of alpha in there. Check it out. Okay, Aster. This is CZ Binance's new project. This is going to be a perp deck, and I think this really does have a ton of potential. Full disclosure, I did buy some of this, so I do own a small bag. I'll likely build my position out over the next couple weeks, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so you can see right here, this is a decentralized perpetual contracts. It's trading, right? There's no custodial trading. You might be thinking to yourself, Doc, this sounds kind of familiar. Like, I think I've heard this before. I'm glad you mentioned it. CZ is trying to build a competitor to Hyperliquid, i.e. Hype. And if you check this out, within the last 7 days, 14 days, this is down, right? This is down 12% over the past 2 weeks. And yes, crypto has dumped over that time, but a lot of people are thinking that Hyperliquid is down because CZ is coming out with Aster and trying to compete with Hyperliquid, okay? The website's super clean. My brother has actually downloaded this app on his phone, and he says it's really, really easy to use. He says it's way easier to use than BitUnex or anything like that. They have over almost $1 trillion in trading volume, over 3 million users. I thought this tweet was really interesting, right? Few understand this. Aster competes. I'm going to re-zoom in onto this. Aster competes with Binance, but it helps BNB. So I thought this was really interesting, right? Binance, they kind of had to part ways with CZ when he went to jail. And maybe in some ways, this is CZ kind of getting back at them, right? He's saying there's a couple ex-Binance employees who are in on this. And guys, right now, this has a market cap of $3 billion, okay? $3 billion. Yes, the fully diluted is almost $15 billion. Guys, there's $1 billion in trading volume over the past 24 hours. Wild, right? Wild. Technically, it might be more than that, right? So this would be billion, $1 billion in trading volume. So this is crazy. If we think 3 billion right now is a market cap, let's just look at the top 20, right? Chainlink has a 15 billion market cap. So that would be a 5x. Hyperliquid right now has 12. A couple days ago, this was 15, right? So think about how big Uniswap was back in the day. It got over 20 billion, and that was last cycle. I would not be surprised if Aster really took off and this became the new hype. I wouldn't be surprised if this hit a $20-25 billion market cap as a blow off top, right? That would be roughly a 7 or 8x from here. Now, if you think that's going to happen, you need to operate under the thesis that Bitcoin has not put in its all-time high yet, right? You're only making these altcoin bets if you think Bitcoin will continue to put in new all-time highs. So I want to put this project on your radar. I'm going to be covering it much more often on the channel. Because I like talking about projects that I think are awesome. And I just think this really does have a ton of potential, right? So there's going to be a lot of KOLs talking about this. I'm filming this like super early on Monday morning. I've just wanted to put it on your radar. As always, you guys know I appreciate all of your support on the channel, coming in at 10,000 subs, which is wild, right? I made this channel less than a year ago, and I wouldn't be here without all of you guys. Okay, I'm rambling. If you made it this far in the video, appreciate all of your support. I read all the comments. Let me know, do you think Aster is going to be the next perp project, i.e. like a hyperliquid? And do you think the government's going to shut down this week? And if it does, will it impact Bitcoin? If you got any value out of this, consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and I'll see you guys on my next video.